What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. Figured to have a little fireside chat here. I was watching Human last night, and it seems he's kind of grown not too fond of MGTOW, and that's a shame. We shouldn't divide groups of men, unless they're just blue pill simps that have absolutely no hope. But he did make a good point that men need a place for encouragement. And I think MGTOW gives men encouragement. And if it doesn't, I'm going to provide some. See, you're men. And you will always be men. I mean, yeah, you can go try to transition and do all this stuff, but in your cellular structure, you're a man. You're a creator. You run this world. Maybe not the legal system. Maybe not the court system. But you run this world. Things that men do. Men created this world. Women help. Women help men. Or they have in the past. They help men create. Men are the creators. God is the ultimate creator. But men take after God and become creators as well. And he looks after his children. And women benefit from your creation, just like they have from the beginning. It's interesting to think. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do, to think that you don't matter, that you don't have a place, that you are exiled from the system, which is true. But there might be someday that you're going to be needed. It's like a superhero. Say Superman. He, for the most part, would rather be Clark Kent for the majority of the time than to be Superman. But when he's needed, he becomes Superman. When Bruce Wayne is needed, he becomes Batman. You might have a season or two where you feel like you're not necessary, you're not needed. But trust me, men, you will be needed in the future. I don't care what anybody says. You are necessary and you're needed. Now, don't get suckered into believing that you'll be needed for a single mother, or you'll be needed for the system, or you'll be needed for the government or military work. No, you'll be needed to create. You'll be needed to rebuild society after it collapses. And that's the truth of things. So any man who feels down, feels isolated, feels like they're not necessary. I fall in that category. I'll be honest, I fall in that category. But I do have moments where I am needed. I do still have moments where I'm needed. Emergencies, things like that. My neighbors. Somebody tried to break in my neighbor's house one night. Me and old AK-47 went over there. And needless to say, that never happened again. We'll just put it at that. But yeah, dudes. Yeah, you're needed. You're wanted and you're needed. Especially by the manosphere. Especially by men. Not necessarily MGTOW. But we need to have some togetherness with men. We need to have some support network for each other. Because God knows the state and the federal government doesn't give a shit about us. We're disposable creatures in their eyes. Well, I'm not even getting to the modern women nowadays. But there's three types of friends that you will always have in this world as a man. That's a dog or pet. You know, I'm not a cat person, but your pet will always love you. Your children will always love you. Now, they might be deceived for a moment, but they still love you deep down. And they're going to find you one day. If you've gone through some shit like I have, they will find you. And the third type of friend is a man who's like a brother, who will never betray you, will never turn his back on you, loves you better than family. And that's something you need to hang on to, man. And if you're in that position, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up, because best friends that are men are not an everyday occurrence. I've only had a select few in my lifetime. You couldn't separate us. And we were together through thick and thin, unlike these women. And that's something special. But unfortunately, the last brother that I had got suckered into something he shouldn't have been involved in. And that, yeah, I know. Screech owls. But yeah, dudes, don't let a woman come between something that you can't find every day. A true best friend. And a lot of people say, well, they weren't your best friend to begin with. Yeah, they were. But they fell off the wagon. I forgave him. I actually did. I forgave him. Because I realized what the temptations were there. But in the end, he couldn't forgive himself. And he dipped out, and I've never seen him after that. So things have a way of working out. And you know, this world has been through some horrible times, and we've come back from those horrible times. We're going through another dip in the road. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. And just like I say with anyone who's struggling with their life, just take it a day at a time. Just one day at a time, man. Because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. And you don't know when you're going to be needed. So stick around, because you will be needed. And don't forget those other brothers out there that are struggling. And let's try to keep our men together. Let's try to keep people together and not try to chase people in or out of the group. Because, I mean, ultimately, we're going to need each other. The fight's not with men. Well, not with certain types of men. Now, yes, beta, super beta, simp, blue pill men who are completely in the matrix. Yes, they don't belong, and they're not going to be welcomed. But if you've taken the red pill, you realize what is going on. And you stand by the principles of being the opposition to this gynocracy, this feminist, communist republic here. We need to stick together. And we need as many people as we can to be with us and to support us. And we can't chase people off just because. And this is what I heard a lot was PUA. There's a lot of people that don't agree with the PUA system. There's a lot of people that are bitter about PUA and think that it's just as deceptive as the women that are out here. And I agree, honestly. But I don't dog on a man for making an individual choice. And if you want to go back to the plantation, do it. But don't drag our name under the mud. Don't drag all of these guys under the mud with you. Just leave, go your own way, go do your own thing, go back to the plantation. And then when it doesn't work out, come on back. But we'll still remember. That's the thing. Men always remember. But just be good to each other, for real. Because there's a lot of good guys out here that are on the fence. And when you wild out and you cast people aside without giving them a chance, then you end up with an opposition. And an opposition grows and it grows until you're discredited. And that's something I don't want to see. But most of y'all probably tuned out by now, but it's been a pretty decent night. Nice little fire here, burning a stump down. I love you guys. You guys take it easy. And the old Delta Dan will be around. Don't you worry. I'm still on your side. I'm still here. And y'all guys take it easy. Go get some fire time, man, for yourselves. Alright, dudes. Later.